Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. 12 after 8 o'clock news and views on Salam Media. And our first guest is on standby. That, of course, is you, Councillor Naeem Patel. You're not going to be, I presume, talking in your capacity as a councillor, but as South African Friends of Palestine. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, Auntie Julie.
Okay, so would I be correct that you are talking with a different hat this time around, South African Friends of Palestine?
Yeah, I'm talking as the organizer of the South African Friends of Palestine. And our most recent project is the strategic boycott on clover. So currently we've launched this boycott nationally, but we've concentrated it obviously in the area we come from, which is Lodium Erasmia, basically Tshwane area. And this boycott started about 3 weeks ago. And the reason many people ask me why clover and why only one product we've decided to boycott. And the reason for this is there's so many products going around that boycott this, boycott this. So we decided to use two key factors in our decision. One was the company must be owned by an Israeli conglomerate. And secondly is we must have alternatives. So you can't ask people to boycott something if we don't have an alternative. And we came up with clover. It's used in almost, I think, every housewife's kitchen throughout the country. They have literally hundreds of products, and every product has an alternate. Clover itself is owned or bought out by the Milko company, CBC Bottling in Israel. It has many farms in the illegal settlements of Eastern Jerusalem, and that's the reason we chose this product clover to strategically boycott this clover products.
Okay, I'm not sure if my producer has the actual picture of the products we're talking about. I think if we have a break just now, he can just pop into my studio, get the copy of this, and then upload it quickly so that we can have a much clearer picture. The graphics are pretty horrific. I've been following it as well, and every time you change the product, a clover product for that matter, it's in the hands it's in very bloodied hands. Someone's got the hands, but that looks like a sketch, which is great, but it does get a very graphic picture and message across. And the hands are full of blood, and you have the products of clover in these bloodied hands. It's almost shocking when you see it for the first time. So whoever came up with this concept, well done. I think it was a brilliant idea because it gets the message. The message hits home, right on target. Talk to us about the actual graphics, the pictures that you guys have come up with.
Auntie Julie, I'm just going to go 2 steps backwards. So what we've done is we came up with a 7-point strategy or 8-point strategy of this boycott. The graphics, and that is one part of it. But before we even got to the graphics, what we've done and what we'd asked other areas to do is we live in communities.
Okay, Naeem's picture has just frozen. So what we are going to do, inshallah, is go for a quick ad break and try and reconnect with Naeem Patel. This is a very important conversation. We need to hear it, and we need to be active as far as the issue around boycotts is concerned. In this instance, particularly clover products. Are you back?
I'm back, yeah.
Okay, the picture froze and I lost audio with you as well. Please go back.
Okay.
You said you needed to go back to your strategy.
So basically yes, our strategy, we have an 8-point strategy. The first point was to call a meeting with our big business that stock clover in our area. We have to take our business with us.
No, we ain't winning with Naeem Patel. Let's go for an ad break, inshallah. And let me just test with him one more time. If we don't have him there, we're going to have to then perhaps do a telephonic interview with him. Naeem, are you there? Nope. There seems to be problems with his network. Time for an ad break. So when we get back, inshallah, we'll talk with Naeem on the phone. Stay with us, please. This is News and Views on Salam Media. It is the 27th of November, 2023. Great to have you in our company this morning. Do remember, we are with you right up until 10 a.m.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
There's no smell that takes me back to the comfort of my childhood than the smell of black seed oil being applied by my nanny. Now I'm using Tib black seed in my own home to soothe sniffles and coughs, to help with digestion and immunity, and of course, as part of my beauty routine. After all these years, I've come to appreciate the wisdom in finding comfort and shifa in trusted treatments like Tib black seed. You can find Tib black seed at all leading pharmacies or find out more at blackseed.co.za.
Ah, the kitchen, the heart of the home, where memories are made and celebrated. Our go-to place for those freshly stacked pancakes early in the morning or for that late-night snack munchies. We are in there together, cooking, eating, and celebrating life together. Let's keep the kitchen a place that is shared by everyone, where we build stronger bonds and grow together. Sunfoil, now we cooking. Visit nowwecooking.co.za for recipes that everyone can help make.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
8:21 a.m. News and Views on Salam Media. We got off on a shaky start this morning because not only is Naeem Patel experiencing load shedding, we are experiencing it as well here in Robertsham in Johannesburg. So clearly we've had problems with networking issues, but Naeem has tried to reconnect with us via telephone. So let's see if we can proceed with with this interview. And we do apologize once again, but it is a situation completely out of our hands. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get on with the show right here on News and Views on Salam Media. Assalamu alaikum to you, Naeem. Are you there?
Walaikum salam, I'm back to you.
So sorry about the load shedding, both on your side and ours as well. Let's pick up from where we left off. Your 8-point strategy.
Right. So the 8-point strategy, basically the first point is to meet with local business, have a discussion with them, make sure they're on board, issue them with a letter to say the community is going to boycott and picket outside your store should you not get rid of all your Clover products. And all businesses in our area came on board. That was the most important
part for us to make this boycott a success. Point two was social media. You and I both know, Auntie Julie, you share something on social media now. Within seconds, it's
Yes.
the whole world. Everybody's got social media. I don't know what happened before social media, how our lives were, but I can tell you we can't live without it now. So we called on the community basically to boycott clover. We business groups, and we supply the material. So what we do is every week we come out with a different social media post, very graphic post. We say every 3 days we ask the community to change their profile pictures. And I think this has worked very, very, very well with us. The first post we had was not very graphic. We did a post with all the products of basically one social media post with all products or most of the products that are used in a daily basis by housewives. And we send this out to the community. That was the second part of our strategy. The third part is basically to print pamphlets. On the one side of the pamphlet, we'll have all the clover products, and on the other side is to assist the businessmen to sell, to make sure they don't lose sales, to give the alternate products, clover, on the other side of the pamphlet. And this needs to be given out at masjids, temples, churches, and wherever possible, wherever there's a large gathering of people, we gave out pamphlets. The fourth part of the strategy is Corex boards. And you find in our area, we put up 200 boycott clover boards, which basically is the product. So if we decide we're taking Tropica, we have a picture of Tropica, boycott clover, free Palestine. That's the standard board. Just the product changes on each one. This as well, we have the artwork. So any other area that wants to implement such a boycott in the area, it's readily available. The first part of the strategy is billboards and banners. So we've got 3 strategic points in Lodium where we could put up billboards, and we acquired all 3 spaces for this project. And we've got massive signs all over on these 3 saying boycott clover. We are now entering a clover-free area. Thank you, Lodium and Erasmia, for standing with the Friends of Palestine on the right side of history. Boycott clover and a few products of clover. So this has worked very, very well. Actually, we found the reps of clover coming to actually take photos of these boards, obviously to send it back to their different bosses or product managers.
Yeah. Mm.
Then in terms of social media, again, we came back to social media at point 6. We send out on a weekly basis information about clover. This is now not graphics, just to say, for example, the first one is why we boycotting clover. They're owned by East Jerusalem Company. Then we give some information of how well the boycott is working. People always want to know, is the boycott working? We're always in touch with shop owners. We haven't got to the stage yesterday where we did inspections in any shop. We trust our business owners. They work quite closely with us. And that part is the counselor. I think it's a bit easier as being the counselor to negotiate this with business owners. And then the 7th point is basically mosques, temples, churches. We basically send a message to all the masjids, temples, churches. 2 weeks ago, Juma, the ulama or the imams of every masjid read this out from the mimbar, a short message of why people should boycott clover. And then point 8 is where we are now, is to do videos. We're busy with videos now of different housewives, not only Lodium. Our first video actually will come up, I think, tomorrow. It's a housewife in Cape Town to basically say, my name is so-and-so, my kitchen is clover-free.
Wow.
Short message. We don't want we don't want long messages from the housewives because obviously people are shy and come onto video, but just a short message to say in Lodium we're coming out, there's 2 that's going to come out this week from Lodium residents. So hopefully by the end of the week we'll have 3 videos out to say we boycotted clover. And then next week we'll basically do assessment of the success of the boycott to the next product. And I think like this, if we do it in this way, Julie, we're more strategic and we're more focused. It's not haphazard. This one is calling for Coke and that one is calling for pedal tennis and that one is calling for Starbucks. We're saying everyone must be conscious of everything. You in your heart know that Coca-Cola is contributing to the genocide in Israel. We should not have any Coke product in our house so we can assist people in occupied Palestine. And in this way, I think we unite. I always remember as an activist, people in the old days, every political party or every formation of resistance used to do their own thing until the UDF came about, united all these forces under one umbrella body, and then took on the apartheid government as one united body. And we could see from 1984 to 1990, within 6 years, what was achieved was more than was achieved in the previous 42 years because of a united front of people with the same objective. And unitedly, they brought the downfall of the apartheid government. And I think we as the community of South Africa, freedom-loving citizens, from all walks of life, of all religions, many people at the Julia are thinking that this is a Muslim fight. I promise you, in our marches, there are more non-Muslims than Muslims. Even in Lodium, many of the Hindu and Tamil community have come on board, the Christian community, the priests, to support the Palestinian issue. And unitedly, I think we can bring some change for our brothers and sisters in Palestine.
So Naeem, tell me, how do you assess the success of this campaign? How do we know it's hurting clover? How do we know that people are definitely not buying clover products and it's hurting clover in a big way?
I think there's a few things. One is obviously you can see the clover reps are all the time in Lodium offering deals to the shopkeepers, ridiculous deals, 25, 30% off. That's the first thing. The moment they start offering deals in the month of coming to December, the boycott is a success. The second thing is you find in every corner people are talking of the clover boycott. Everywhere you go, there was a fete in Lodium this weekend. People were all talking about clover. We mustn't keep clover. And the housewives love clover ghee. People have said we're even burning the clover bucket. So clover, you can see from that when you hear from the people on the ground that everybody's speaking about it. We know that there's a success. The third thing is you find shopkeepers phoning us. Clover sales is down because we're not selling any clover. Even the little stock we have left, nobody's buying the little stock. Even if we're selling it below cost, people are not buying it. So we basically have to get rid of it in some other way. We've agreed with them that they can get rid of some of the stock. And clover is now uplifting stock from these shopkeepers. So we have clover coming to Lodium to uplift the stock because the shopkeepers can't sell it. And the clover reps know that the shops are threatened with a boycott of all products should they not abide by this. So I think to judge the success, it's quite easy, probably in areas like Lenasia, Lodium, where we have small areas. But maybe when you go to bigger areas, if you're saying the entire house in northern Joburg, it'll be a bit more difficult to assess. But in our traditional Indian areas, old Indian areas, it'll be more easier to assess. And you find people are using the alternates. If you take a Kui cold drink, I was speaking to one of the biggest wholesalers in Pretoria the other day, and he said to me, my sales of Kui has quadrupled, and my sales of Coca-Cola is dead. It's dead. So we know it's successful because Coca-Cola is not only bought by Muslims. We have a lot of non-Muslims staying in our area, a lot of Africans. So if your Coke sales are down and Kui has quadrupled, we know people have abided and people are coming to the party. I've been to weddings. As a counselor, I get invited to many functions. You find nobody serving. Yesterday we were at the wedding, they served Kingsley. And I said, yeah, the same wedding we were in, a family of just a few months ago, they served Coke. And yet today people are serving Kingsley. So people are, alhamdulillah, coming on board. But whatever product, people are making a contribution to assist our brothers and sisters.
Okay, we have a message from Rehana Ghulam, and this is what she has to say. Assalamu alaikum, very informative program. Please investigate Crystal Valley products sold by Checkers. Would you actually, follow through with these type of requests? How important is it?
It's very important. In Crystal Valley, I can tell you, is packed by Clover for ShopRite. We know we have put that out to the communities as well. There's quite a few products. I think it's Woolworths milk as well is packed by. I don't have a full list. But there's a few products packed by Clover for these companies. So we've asked the community to stay away from Crystal Valley as well. In all products, we had a whole list of vegetarian products or that are packed by Clover. And we've sent out the list as well to the community to say these are forming part of the boycott. These are also packed by Clover. Clover benefits from this, so please stay away from this. So I think the question is excellent. Crystal Valley.
All right. As a councillor, as a local councillor, I'm kind of wondering, are you going to be impacted at all by being the head of the South African Friends of Palestine, because I'm more than certain you are aware of the shenanigans playing out in the Western Cape by the DA. In the Boer Kaap, a lot of homeowners who are pro-Palestine have painted Palestinian flags and messages of support on the, outside of their property on their own boundary walls. And apparently, at some lights festival over the weekend as well, people that were donning Palestinian gear, like the Palestinian scarves and Palestinian flags, were threatened by the JMPD officials that they're going to be fined for their support for wearing those scarves. Now, number one, I think it's totally illegal. It's my right what I'd like to do on my property, and it is my right what I decide to wear, as long as I'm not going half naked as the Westerners do out in the streets and parading my body. So, you kind of need to make that comparison as well. The DA then have subsequently come out in defense and said that that is not true. They've actually shut that notion down. But it seems that there is solid evidence that people are complaining that they've been threatened by the police, that they'll be fined if they don't, wipe off or wash down those signs, and if they continue waving Palestinian flags, etc. So are you aware of it, number one? As a councillor, do you believe that you could, probably come unstuck because, you are heading the South African Friends of Palestine? And what are the legal implications? Can Clover Products possibly sue you, being the head of this organization? How do we move forward in all of this? But I have no doubt in my mind that as a councillor, you have sought legal advice on the matter.
So, Julie, my daughter is a lawyer. So yes, I have sought legal advice first before but as an activist, as a Muslim, consequences with regards to these actions are the last thing on our minds. I travel regularly to Palestine. Alhamdulillah, I've been there 3 times in the last 3 years, every year Ramadan. So that's the only concern I have currently. The rest of it is we live in a democracy with a constitution far beyond any other constitution in the world in terms of our rights as human beings. And the issue in Cape is twofold. One is the DA has come out denying the issue of the Boer Kaap. I'll deal with the two issues separately. The Boer Kaap issue, the brother that reported it, Brother Ibrahim Christian, yesterday released a statement. He's a very well-known person in that area, and he was present when they came. So yes, there were no fines issued. That part I agree. But yes, the local Metropolitan Police did come and warn him or warn the community with regards to that. Only afterwards finding that it's private property and there's not much they can do. In terms of the second part, the Light Festival, I've seen another statement released by the Safety and Security head there, J.P. Smith, and he was saying, no, SEPS is controlled by the ANC, it's a national function now. That is just passing the blame, because what actually happens, and in Salam Media, you know, because you probably do a lot of jobs when you do functions. So when we have a function, we have a job, which is basically a joint operations center. An application is not made to national government. An application is made to the city. So if we have it in Cape Town, the organizers will make an application to the city of Cape Town and say, we want to hold this function. Once it's approved, automatically the Cape Town Metro gets SEPS involved. They get the different departments, health, environment, and so on, involved in this job to assist with the function. So SEPS in this regard will take its orders from the job which is run by the municipality. So yes, SEPS reports to national government, but its orders in terms of local job, they take the orders from the municipality. So pushing the blame onto another political party, I think they had Al-Jamaa and EFF and so on, is wrong. The responsibility lies with the job that falls under the Metropolitan Council. The mayor is ultimately responsible in Cape Town for any job that happens, unless it's a national program, which was not a national program. So those two issues. I think as councillors, Muslim, non-Muslim, doesn't matter which political party we belong to. I take my hat off for Mustafa Darsot from Action SA, for a man to stand up and say, My party was wrong. I'm willing to lose everything I had in the party. Being the most senior Muslim person in the party, I will resign because the stance is pro-Israel and anti-Hamas and so on. I think I take my hat off for more and more councillors to say, because if you have a whole lot of councillors in one political party, if you take the DA, for example, there are many, many political councillors as well as MPs, MPLs. If they all stand up with one voice, the party cannot fire, the party cannot remove every one of them. There will be some inroads to say, listen, we have to take cognizance of the fact that we have Muslim voters. We have to take cognizance of the fact that all these are Muslim councillors. Because political stink in the country if all these people resign at the same time. So I think if united, we have a group called the South African Muslim Councillors Forum, which is all Muslim councillors throughout the country on one forum, doesn't matter of the political affiliation. And here we find a lot of argument, not actual debate, argument, name calling, and J councillors trying to obviously defend the stance of their political party. And I think we shouldn't go this route. We should all unitedly say, listen, we're standing with Palestine. Doesn't matter who we are or which political party. First of all, we are Muslim, we are humanitarians. We have to support the people of Palestine.
However, sadly, Ghalib Kachalia was a casualty of this whole shenanigans as far as the DA is concerned. And that seems to have died a quiet death. I'd like to hear how other councillors it doesn't matter, from different parties, would come to the fore and support him. Because it's also, at the end of the day, the person's, livelihood that we're talking about here. So that's an issue as well that we as a Muslim community need to support in a big way. And yes, you are right. We salute Mustafa Darsot for taking such a strong stance regarding his core beliefs. Alhamdulillah. One more question. You can respond to the comments I've made, Ghalib Kachalia, Mustafa Darsot, but I want to question the artwork, the graphics of Don't Eat the Lives of Palestinians. I think it is so powerful. Who came up with it?
Okay, the first, let me deal with Uncle Ghalib first, with Ghalib Kachalia. You know, being an ANC activist, the Kachalia family were like our mentors.
Yeah, stalwarts. Stalwarts.
I mean, you know, the Kachalia family, their contribution to the struggle is even greater than that of the Mandela family, because Mandela was one person. These people, the Kachalias, were the entire family. Amina, the husband, Molvi, Yusuf, all of them were involved in this. And Ghalib stood up finally in his heart. He realized what the day is doing is wrong. The sad part is Ghalib was taken out as shadow minister, but he did not resign from the party. Ghalib should actually stick to stand. He's basically still in the party. He knows he can't do anything, because taking a stand and defying him, he still stayed with the party. And I think I call upon Ghalib to take the stand and leave the DA and go back to being an activist like you are and your family. Come from a pedigree of activists. So to Brother Ghalib Kachalia, please reconsider that, staying with the DA, leave the DA and go back to being an activist.
Okay, Naim, can I come in here? Can I come in here, please? Sorry for the interruption. Do you believe Ghalib Kachalia and Mustafa Darsot could possibly find a home in another political party?
I think they can find a home in another political party, but knowing the kind of activists both of them are, I know Mustafa also quite well, they should actually maybe stay out of the political scene, out of a political party. I mean, there are many political parties that they can find homes with. You have the NFP, the EFF, the NC, Al-Jamah. There's quite a few political parties, I think, where the activists, they can make a great contribution, but I think they can make a greater contribution to the Palestinian struggle. Maybe the two of them can form an umbrella body and unite all the Palestinian, pro-Palestinian resistance movements in South Africa under one umbrella body, because we know their activists, we know their stance. So to make national stance like this, we know their stance. Nobody can doubt their stance with regards to Palestine. In terms of the captions that we've done, my daughter is writing matric, and she's basically come up with all of these. So she says to me, Dad, I'm writing matric. I said, listen to me. While you're writing matric, the bombs don't stop in Palestine. So leave your studying for half an hour. Please do me one on. And then she comes up. She's with all these graphic captions that we've come up with and put on social media. So yeah, Zahra Patel, her name is. She's the one that's behind all the captions that you see that have come up with regards to the Clover boycott.
10 out of 10 to her. Amazing and very, very admirable indeed. Councillor Naeem Patel, it's been wonderful talking with you this morning. And as I tell all activists, keep up that fight, keep up that flag as high as you possibly can. The Palestinians need us. They need us now. They need their voices to be heard through you and I, and inshallah, it will make a meaningful difference. Till the next time, it's always wonderful talking with you. Assalamu alaikum to you. That was Councillor Naeem Patel from Tshwane, local councillor, talking about his stance on the Palestinian issue and the boycotts, which is targeting Clover products. So please, good people, do your bit. Make sure that you're a conscious shopper and do stand up for our brothers and sisters in Palestine.